Well, thank you for joining us again. We've been talking quite a bit about what's happened post-Michael down in the Gulf Coast region, but even into the southeastern United States. We can go far back, actually, to another hurricane in Florence and talk about the after effects of which. I have a gentleman with me now I've known for many, many years, Josh Klapow. He is with the University of Alabama in Birmingham, a clinical psychologist, one of the best when it comes to helping people out after a disaster takes place. Josh, thank you so much for joining us today there. Let's talk a little bit about this situation. We can sort of tie it into with maybe the last hurricane that we had into the Carolinas. What are we talking about now when it comes to post-traumatic? Is it post-traumatic stress?
Well, it's acute stress reaction. And I mean, it's a little bit of a technical term. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, which is what a lot of people have heard of, that's really can't be diagnosed till about a month after whatever the event is. So right now, we talk about acute stress reaction or even acute stress disorder. But all of it, particularly in the immediate aftermath, a lot of the distressing symptoms that people experience, as distressing as they are, they're quite normal. And it's basically our mind and our body's way of dealing with a traumatic experience.
I know after 2011, when we had the super outbreak of tornadoes in Alabama, I was involved in that. My house affected, your house affected. We lived pretty close together, actually, but many, many people and lives that were lost there into the area. And I had a hard time dealing with that myself. What stage are we at right now with those people who either have lost loved ones or lost everything they owned there in the Gulf Coast? What's the deal?
So right now is a really critical stage because immediately in the aftermath, the first day or so, as people are sort of in shock, their adrenaline is flowing, they're trying to just survive. But now things have settled. And now kind of the realization comes in, this idea that either I can't get back home or I don't have a home to come back to. What am I going to do? And really a realization that, wow, this is not going to take a short amount of time is where people start feeling, they feel stressed, they can feel depressed, they can start feeling the effects so much more so because the rest of the world's kind of moving forward, David, and they're realizing that their lives are forever changed, and that impact can hit very hard.
So what are some of the suggestions? You gave me a few. We've got them on the screen popping up here in just a few moments. What do you suggest that people do at this stage?
It's a few things. Number one is you have to give yourself that permission, as hard as it is, to feel bad, to not just hold it together all the time, because this is that proverbial marathon. It's going to take you a long time to get back to normal. The second thing is to really pay attention, believe it or not, to your physical health. You can't go for weeks on end without eating or sleeping or staying hydrated. Another thing really is to revamp and rethink your goals. A lot of people want to just get everything fixed. That's not a reality. That's not a possibility. So things like, what am I going to do today? In filing insurance papers, finding a place to live. Last thing is, believe it or not, finding some kind of routine. No matter where you are, if you're in a hotel or a shelter or a friend's house, getting up at the same time every day and maybe taking a walk, something that just gets your life a little bit more normal. All of that's going to help you. Still going to be distressing, but that's going to give you the strength that you need to see this thing through.
Dr. Josh Klapow, thank you so much, Josh, for joining us. It's nice to see you always. Clinical psychologist, University of Alabama in Birmingham, and post-disaster expert. Great advice, and we'll be talking to you again, hopefully not too soon.